Hello once more and welcome to economics class. All right. We are going to talk about relationship between the various types of costs. All right, in this episode. But before that, we're also going to do calculations. Right. We saw all the formulas for calculating all the different type of costs in the last episode. If you have not watched that last episode, you have no business here. All right. Many of you are only concerned about past questions. You don't know that you need to read first. That's where the problem comes from. Study first, show yourself approved, answer questions. The confidence you gain in answering questions because you have read, you know something here. All right, so please ensure you go back to the last episode, watch it, and then join us in this episode. We're going to see calculations. All right, we're going to complete this table. All right, and then we'll see relationship between different type of costs. Also, we'll talk about long run cost analysis. All right, and then the next class. Okay, next episode we'll talk about revenue. All right, and then we're done with the theory of cost. Very easy. So please do not forget that these tutorials, these episodes are brought to you by the O3 Schools application for the JAMB, for the WAEC. Okay, it's for students who want to pass their exam at once in one shot. Okay, that's me. I'm tired of writing JAMB. Let's say I've written JAMB before and then you did not make it. All right, you are tired completely. You want to pass at once, go and get the app immediately. All right. We do not make so much noise. All right. We are not those that make noise. It's not WhatsApp group you learn things from. All right. If you want to study, you study properly. Use the application, you will get your results. All right. For JAMB is available, for WAEC is available. We'll talk about the app in a moment. Let us see past questions on the app. Concerning this, we have 1999 number 21 here using the question search feature. It's a feature on the app that allows you to search for questions according to topics. And all the questions that either JAMB or WAEC has ever said before that has that topic, okay, it will list all the years out for you. So it helps you to practice question immediately you are done with reading a particular topic, thereby cementing your understanding about that topic and understanding how examiners set their questions on the topic. So this 1999 number 21 says, which of the following falls continuously as output expands? Okay, so as output is expanding, it continues to fall. A says the average fixed cost, B says the marginal cost, C says the average variable cost, D says the average cost. All right. These and many more questions are what we are going to see at the end of the class and not before, because at O3 Schools, we pride ourselves in giving you value first. Let us teach you, then you understand, then answering question will be the list of your problems. All right. So please ensure you download the app from Play Store or App Store or for your computer system. If you need it for your laptop or computer system, message this number on WhatsApp 09121 515246. All right. The app has all the past questions you need for your exam on the application. So past question is not really a problem. So you will not need to go and buy any past question outside. Also, there's a classroom. The classroom has lecture notes, the latest JAMB and WAEC syllabus. It has video lessons. It has flashcards. All right. There's even a study plan, a timetable on the app. You can create a timetable to finish your syllabus at once. Many of you prepare for your exam without using your syllabus. That's a big problem for you. All right. That's why you either perform poorly or even perform maybe average. If you want to pass your exam at once very well, finish your syllabus at least once or twice. All right. So everything is in that classroom. Then we also have the question search feature, which we spoke about. Then there's a mock challenge on the application. You compete with all your mates that are writing or preparing for the exam for this year. All right. You compete with them, win a lot of amazing prizes every Saturday. But the main point of the challenge is for you to familiarize yourself with how examiner set questions. Get used to JAMB past questions. Get used to likely exam questions. All right. And also you'll be seeing your results released just like normal JAMB. So please do not play with the challenge. Educational games are there to build your speed. Okay. Fame is there. Who wants to be a millionaire is there. You build your speed on answering questions. So please ensure you utilize the application, activate it. Some of you are very stingy to yourself, all right, and to your academic success. Anything, if you hear a book like this, you think is, in fact, you are not supposed to pay for it. Do not be fooled, all right? If you want to succeed, you must get the right tool. You must buy the right tool. And O3 Schools app is the way to school. Go and get the app, activate it, and you come back with your testimony. Let us go to the board quickly and finish up this table. All right. So we have a unit output here. We have total fixed cost here. We have total variable cost. We have total cost. We have marginal cost. We have average fixed cost. We have average variable cost. Then we have average cost, or the one we call average total cost. All right. So now we're supposed to fill this table. Now we know that total fixed cost does not change, isn't it? It remains fixed. So that means here will be 50. here will be 50, here will be 50, here will be 50, here will be 50, here will be 50. It will not change. Now, we have a total variable cost. Okay, we have our values, our set of data already. Okay, let me pull out my calculator. I think we need it. Let me use my phone as calculator. Now, for total cost, we remember the formula we give. We say that total cost is equal to what now? Total fixed cost plus what? Total variable cost. Remember, right? Yes, that means if we want to get our total cost, we add total fixed cost or we add fixed cost plus what? Variable cost. All right. So now to get our total cost will not be difficult any longer. 50 plus 0 will be what? 50. And 50 plus 20 is what? 70. 50 plus 30 is 80. 50 plus 35 is 85. 50 plus 45 is 95. 50 plus 65 is 115. 50 plus 110 is what? 160. Okay, so we have what? Our values for what? For total what cost, because we have gotten it from what? From our formula here. The total cost is TFC plus TVC. Okay, for the first one, TFC was what? 50. Okay, TVC was what? Was 0. 50 plus 0 is what? Is 0. That's how we got this 50 here. We're good, right? Then 50 plus 20. Okay, we got that 70 like that. Okay, so I hope that one is very, very clear. Now I've gotten our what? Our total cost. Now, what's our marginal cost? We say that our marginal cost is the extra or additional what cost that a producer or what a firm incurs in producing an extra or additional unit, all right, unit of output. So for that singular reason, all right, our marginal cost will give the formula MC is what? Change in what? Total cost over what? Change in what? In Q. Remember when we say TCN, okay, minus what? TCN minus 1 all over what? QN minus what? QN minus 1, all right? So this is what the formula. That means if you want to find the change, all right, just what I want to find what the marginal what cost, just find the change in TC by change in what? In Q, all right? So the marginal cost, okay, for a 0 unit of output, okay, when the output is what? Is 0, marginal cost will also be what? To be 0 at that point. So that's for the first level. Understand that because output is 0. All right, so there's nothing like additional unit there. Now for the second point here, for the first unit. For the first unit here, we're going to what? Take what? This is total cost, and then this is what? The unit output. Okay, so that what now we know that our MC is what? Change in TC over change in Q. That means I'm going to say what? T1 minus what? T0, okay, over what? TC1 minus what? TC what not. Okay, so now we're going to have T, what is it called? T1 minus what? Or let me say TC1 minus what now? T0 over, that is TC1 minus T0 over what now? Q1 minus what now? Q0. All right, if you want to see, do you want to understand how we got this first level formula? Okay, remember we said that what is it called? That change, that MC is what? TCN minus what? TCN minus 1 all over what? QN minus 1. All right. So if n is 1 here, because n is 1 here, this first level here, that means we are putting anywhere we see n, we put 1. So this will be what? TC1 minus what now? TC n is 1, so TC1 minus 1. Okay, are you seeing it? TC1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is what? Is 0 over QN. N is 1 minus what? Q1 minus 1. Okay, so 1 minus 1 is also 0. So TC1, that is the TC1 here. TC0 is 1 minus 1, T0. Okay, are we there? Then Q1 is this Q1. Then Q1 minus 1, this Q0 or Q0 there. All right, so it's very easy. It's very easy. So if I looking for this first level, it's what now? This minus this minus this over this minus this. Okay, so I'm going to have what there? Pardon. 70 minus 50 is what? Is 20 over 1 minus 0 is what? Is 1. So 20 over 1 is what? Is 20. So I'm going to have 20 here. How there? So for this next level now, for 2 units, I'm going to have 2 minus 1 and 80 minus 70. 80 minus 70 is what? 10. 2 minus 1 is what? 1. 10 over 1 is what? Is 10. I'm going to have 10. Good, right? Now, for the third unit, 85 minus 80 okay, is what? Is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. We're going to have what? 5 over 1 is what? Is 5. 85 minus 85. 3 minus 2, 1. 5 over 1 is 5, isn't it? Now, for the fourth unit, 95 minus 85 is what? Is 10, right? 4 minus 3 is 1. Out there. So I'm going to have what now? 10 over what? Over 1, which will give us 10. Now, for the fifth unit, 115 minus 95 is what? Is 20, okay? So 5 minus 4 is what? Is 1, okay? 20 over 1 is what? Is 20. I hope you are following how we are getting the table, all right? So now, for this sixth unit, 160 minus 15, that should be what now? 45, okay? So 45 divided by 1 is what? Is 45, all right? So you say here, 45, okay? So now, for AFC, what do you say AFC is? We said that average fixed cost. We said average fixed cost, AFC, is what? Is total fixed cost over what? Over Q. Okay? What's our total fixed cost here? 50 over Q. Q is 0 here. All right? So 50 over 0 is what? Is 0. 50 over 1 is what? Is 50. 50 over 2 is what? Is 25. 50 over 3 is what? Okay, let's find 50 over 3. Okay, let us not make mistakes. Okay, there's no need for making mistakes. So 50 divided by 3 is 16.6. 16.67. Okay, all right. Then 50 divided by 4, that is 25 divided by 2, 12.25. 12.25. I mean, now 20 divided by, no, not 20, sorry. 50 divided by 5 now. 50 divided by 5 is what? Is 10. 50 divided by 6 is what? 25 divided by 3. Divided by 3 is 8.3. 8.33. Okay, so that is how we got our AFC, our average fixed cost. Total fixed cost divided by what? The unit output, okay, or divided by quantity. All right, so I'm going to have 50 divided by 0, 0, 50 divided by 1, 50, 50 divided by 2, 25, 50 divided by 3, 16.67, 50 divided by 4, 12.25, 50 divided by 5, 10, 50 divided by 6, 8.33. Now, for our average fixed cost, we said that our average variable cost, average variable cost is what? Our total variable cost over Q, isn't it? So that means our total variable cost divided by the 0 divided by 0 is what? Is 0. Okay, 20 divided by 1 is what? Is 20. 30 divided by 2 is what? Is 15. Okay, how there? 35 divided by 3. Okay, 35 divided by 3 is 11.66. Okay, or let me say 11.67. We're going to have 11.6666. Okay, so now total variable cost 45 divided by 4 now. 45 divided by 4, 11.25. Okay, then 65 divided by 5. 65 divided by 5, that's 13. Okay, then our total variable cost 110 divided by 6, 110 divided by 6 gives us 18.33. 18.33. Okay, so that's our average variable cost. Okay, what we just do is what? Divide our total variable cost by the quantity. Okay, so TVC 0 divided by 0, 0, 20 divided by 1, 20, 30 divided by 2, 15, 35 divided by 3, 11.67, 45 divided by 4, 11.25, 65 divided by 5, 13, 110 divided by 6, 18.33. We're good, right? All right, before we continue, please, we have discovered that many of you do not like our video. All right, please, it's very, very bad. It's a very, very bad thing. You watch a video like this, you do not like, you do not subscribe, you do not copy the link and share to your friends and love. Pause everything you are doing now, okay? Copy the link, share to your friends, share to at least one of your friends, or go to your WhatsApp group in your secondary school, or go to a WhatsApp group in your lecture, or go to just share the link to your friends and come and see what I'm learning. Come and join me and learn and succeed too. Simple like that, okay? If you are following us on TikTok, follow us, okay? If you are watching from Facebook, follow us on Facebook, all right? Wish you all the best. And of course, you come back with your testimony. God bless you. So now, our AC, what do you say our average cost is, or our average total cost? We say that what our average cost is equals to what now? Our total cost, okay, divided by what? The quantity. Total cost divided by Q, all right? And also know that what? That our average cost is also the sum of our average fixed cost plus our average variable cost. Okay, take note of that. That these two, if you sum these two, are going to have our average cost also. All right. If you do this, TC over Q will be correct. If you do AFC plus AVC, you will also be very correct. All right. So now let us do that. So let us use the first formula. Okay. Then we'll confirm with this one. All right. If we are okay, then we can now complete the table. So now TC over Q, what is total cost here? 50. Q is 0. 50 divided by 0 is what? Is 0. That's why here, this first level will be 0. Also, if you want to use AFC plus AVC, this AFC, this AVC, 0 plus 0 is not still 0. Yes. Let's go to the second level. Let us now say we're working with 0. Now, TC over Q for the second level is what? What is the TC? 70. What is the Q? 1. 70 divided by 1 is what? Is 70. So here is 70. Okay. Now, let us now use this formula. AFC plus AVC. AFC is 50, AVC is 20. 50 plus 20 is 0, not 70. Yes, that means that our formulas are both correct. So let us continue. Now let's go. 25 plus 15 will give us 40. All right, let's confirm also with TC over Q. 80 divided by 20 is 40. Now, TC, what is TC? 85. Okay, divided by what now? 3. 85 divided by 3, 28.33, 28.3, all right? Or 28.3333 continuously, all right? So if you also add these two, we're going to have what? The same thing. Now, I'm adding these two, or let us not make this one easy. 95 divided by 4, it's easier for me here, divided by 4. Okay, we're going to have 23.75. Are we together? Now, let us now go to the next one, TC. 115 divided by 5. 115 divided by 5 gives me 23. All right, then the last one is what now? TC, where's our TC? 160 divided by 6 divided by 6. Okay, 26 point what now? 0.67. All right, so this is our full table. I'll be able to what? Sufficiently what? Use our what now? Our formulas to what? To complete the table. So that's one thing that's expected of you. All right, as your assignment, first thing you should do, just start from where we started and then complete the table yourself. All right, using all the formulas. Then you understand the table perfectly for your own self too. Okay, so you'll be given even your exam, WAEC or JAMB, you'll be given what the table, and you'll be told some of the cost can be taken off. Okay, they may just ask you what is here, what is the MC here. They can just remove this one and remove this one. Okay, they'll say find the values of what? Of A, or they'll put A here. For example, they'll put A here, they'll put B here, they'll put C here. They say find the value of A, B, and C. All right, if you do not know these formulas, you cannot be able to complete the table. Okay, so it's very, very important to do that. All right, at the end of the class, we still have some further calculation questions we are going to look at. All right, but let us now go to the relationship between the different or various type of costs that we have. That is our next point of call. Please like the video, subscribe, download the O3 Schools app, right? Activate it. Tell your friends about the app. Let them join you, especially in the mock challenge. Let them come and join you and challenge themselves to success and see how well they are preparing, all right? Because their score will be directly proportional to their level of preparation, all right? So let us see relationship now. All right, so but we are going to begin with the relationship between total fixed cost, okay, between, let me say, TFC, TC, and TVC, okay? Let's see these three before now. I think the last episode I hinted, okay, I showed you the graph, okay? All right, and then I told you the total variable cost begins from what? From 0, okay? One plotted on the graph, right? And then we'll continue going upward. All right, and then we'll say that the total fixed cost, okay, remains what? Fixed, means unchanged. All right, while what? The total cost, okay, increases. Okay, this is total cost. This is what now? Total fixed cost. This is total variable what? Cost. All right. So now, what does this tell us? All right, it tells us that as output of a firm increases, when the output, okay, of what? Of a firm increases, all right, both the total variable cost, okay, as output is increasing. Look at output here, 0. This is output unit. Output, okay, axis. This is what? Cost axis. Okay, this is cost axis, this is what output axis. So as the output is increasing, 1, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you see? You see that the total variable cost, okay, and the total cost together, they are increasing. All right, so they increase and vice versa. However, what happens? The total fixed cost, okay, remains what? Unchanged. All right, so it remains fixed. Okay, it is not varied. And of course, what do we observe? Observe that this total fixed cost, this is what you should note about the total fixed cost. In fact, in your past questions, they ask a lot of questions on the total fixed cost. All right, so do not joke with it. All right, they ask a lot of questions on the total fixed cost. All right, so the total fixed cost, as you observe very well, you can see is parallel. It's parallel to the what? To the output axis. So number 1, TFC, take this down, is parallel to the what? To the output axis. Okay, and what else do you see? You see that it is also what? Perpendicular to the what? To the cost axis. Okay, it's perpendicular to the cost axis. Number 2, perpendicular to the cost axis. All right, and of course you can see that is remain fixed. And when it is plotted on the graph, when the total fixed cost is plotted on the graph, it is horizontal. Okay, it is horizontal when plotted on a graph. All right, so that is that. So the total fixed cost is parallel to the output axis, perpendicular to the cost axis, and it is horizontal when plotted to a graph. Okay, and as the output of a firm increases, all right, the total variable cost and the total cost, they increase, and vice versa. But if not if now, the total fixed cost on the other hand, rather, okay, remains fixed. It is not varied. All right, and total fixed cost is parallel to the output axis, perpendicular to the cost axis, and plotted horizontally, okay, on the graph. All right, so that is TFC, TC, and TVC. Now let us see marginal cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost, okay, and then average cost. All right, so let us look at relationship between those other ones. All right, between those other 4. All right, so now on this hand, we're looking at marginal cost, okay, average variable cost, average fixed cost, okay, and total cost, okay, average cost, okay, or the one we call ATC, average total cost. These 4. All right, so now let us see the relationship between the marginal cost, the average variable cost, average fixed cost, and the average total cost. Okay, so now I'm going to just draw their graph, okay, their curves. Okay, then we'll use it to explain it together. All right, so let's say first of all, know that what are the average variable cost, average fixed cost, no, not average fixed cost, average variable cost, and and the what's it called, average cost, and the marginal cost. They all have U-shaped curve. Okay, that curves are U-shaped. All right, they have minimum points. Okay, so indicating, as you can see, obviously that means it was falling at a point, began to rise. All right, so now they have U-shape, and the reason why they have U-shape can be explained, okay, using 2 concepts. Okay, number 1 is economics and diseconomies of scale, and then number 2, also use the law of diminishing marginal returns. Okay, so we use these 2 concepts, okay, to explain the reason why the marginal cost, why the average fixed cost, no, average variable cost, and and the average cost all have U-shape, U-shape. Okay, please understand. We have talked about economics and diseconomies of scale before. I talked about return to scale. Okay, law of diminishing marginal returns. I've spoken about all of them in previous videos, episodes. So if you have not watched any of those, you see they are coming to play here. They have importance. That's why we taught them in the previous episodes. So if I have not watched all of those ones, you see how far you have missed. Okay, please go back, watch them, then come back to understand the class better. All right, so now. So this is the curve. Let me draw the curve for the average average cost. Okay, Okay, let us say it's like this. This is average cost. These are sketches anyway. All right. Then let's say this one also is what now? The average variable cost. Okay. Now, one thing you understand is that there is the marginal cost. Okay, this marginal cost MC, it cuts below the what? The average total cost and the average variable cost at their minimum point. Okay, where's the minimum point here? Somewhere here. Where's the minimum point here? Okay, before it starts rising again. Let's say somewhere here. Okay, all right. So now it cuts below what their minimum what point. All right. So now let us see. This is what our marginal cost. Okay, our marginal cost curve. This is how it's what it look like. So this is what our MC. All right, and then this is also the minimum point. So now the marginal cost cuts across what the average total cost at, let's say yes, point A. Okay, then it cuts below what the average variable cost, let's say yes, point B, and then the minimum point of the marginal cost, let's say is what, point C. Okay, so this is it, and we can explain the reason why what it is what U-shape, like I said, with what these two what concepts that are what just what mentioned. Now it is important to know that both the average variable cost and the average total cost, they exhibit the same characters. Okay, they exhibit the same characteristics. Okay, that means they almost will behave the same way. Okay, so now why? How? Why do we say that? If you observe very well, as this MC is cutting below, okay, the what? The average total cost and the average variable cost, what do you observe? You observe that what now? That the average cost, okay, this is the average total cost. The average total cost curve is what? Is falling to come and meet the what? The marginal cost curve. Are we together? Okay, when MC is cutting below them, all right, this one is what is falling. AC is falling to come and meet it here. All right. Also, what do you observe? AVC, is it also not falling? It's falling also to come and meet the marginal cost curve. All together. And when the marginal cost curve is rising, look at this one is falling, but this one, when it is now rising upward, okay, what do you observe? You see that what the average cost curve, okay, what's happening is what? It's also what rising. Okay, it's increasing. All right. And what about the average variable cost? It is also what? Increasing. Okay, so that's why I said that the average cost and the average variable cost, they perform what? They perform what? The same way. They behave what? The same way. They have almost the similar characteristics. Okay, so when the MC is cutting below them, they are falling to come and meet the MC. When the MC is what? Rising. Okay, they also what? Rise. They increase to what? To meet what? The MC. So you can see it's going upward. Is going upward because the MC is going upward. But when MC was coming down, okay, it was coming down. So they behave almost what the same way. So now we can see that both the average total cost, okay, and the average variable cost, they are falling. Okay. Now how can you explain? How can you translate this? Right now, when a firm is it's increasing output. No, this is the output curve. Okay, so when a firm is increasing output, it means that they are started to operate on a larger scale. Okay, that's what it translates to. They're operating on a larger scale, and of course they will start enjoying what we call these economies of scale. And we define economies of scale as the advantages, as the benefits that a firm enjoys when it increases its scale of production. That is what economies of scale. So because the output is increasing, they are operating in a larger capacity, okay, the cost of production per unit output, okay, will begin to fall, okay, to begin to reduce. All right. So this is what the big firms enjoy whenever they increase production. They become more effective. Okay, they become more effective in the usage of resources or usage of materials. All right, so that is the economies of scale. They enjoy it. So that's why I say that the average cost, okay, begins to fall. All right. Also, average variable cost is falling. All right. They are enjoying economies of scale. They are enjoying some advantages, okay, because they are using more resources efficiently, using more workers efficiently. All right. So as the level of output begins to increase, all right, they enjoy economies of scale. That's why you see that the cost per unit output, average cost is falling down. But on the other hand, it gets to a point, okay, that it now becomes ineffective. Maybe because they now start hiring more workers. They hire and keep on hiring until a point you see that workers will be clashing with each other in during work hours. Okay, some people will not even be working and you not even know. So they become less and less. They become less and less efficient or effective. Okay, so when these workers are becoming less and less efficient and effective, so the firm begins to experience this economies of scale. All right, so this economies of scale, there are the disadvantages that a firm suffers. Okay, when they increase scale of production. Okay, so you see that they begin to hire more workers, and then the workers keep clashing. All right, when they say too many hands spoil the broth, I've heard that before. When too many hands they cook soup, okay, they sweet. All right, so that's what begins to happen. All right, so they become less and less efficient because of lack of maybe coordination among the workers. All right, so you see that the cost per unit output again, cost per unit output, okay, will begin to rise again. All right, so at this point it's now beginning to initially, all right, the cost per unit output of was falling, was reducing, okay, because they were efficiently and effectively using their resources. Okay, but when they now over employ workers, lack of coordination, okay, some workers are not even effective any longer. All right, you see that the cost per unit output begins to rise again. Okay, so that's why they now experience this economies of scale. Now, the reason why all of these curves, okay, why they are U-shaped, okay, is majorly because of the law of diminishing marginal returns. Okay, so like we said initially, as output of a firm increases, you see that the cost per unit will be reducing. Okay, and of course, the company will be enjoying economies of scale, right? They'll be enjoying some benefits, all right? But then it gets to a point, okay, when you have employed more hands that are needed for a job, and then they begin to experience this economies of scale. The cost per unit will output begins to rise again, because the productivity, okay, the additional or the maximum productivity of the worker you are adding, that you are employing, okay, is no longer as effective. Okay, so it's useless now at that point. So because of that, the cost per unit output begins to increase again, because the marginal productivity of each successive worker that you are adding, okay, begins to become less and less efficient. So as a result of that, you see that the marginal cost, okay, will be rising. The average cost will be rising, and the average variable cost will also be rising. Okay, so you can see the relationship between all of them. Now, I also have the average fixed curve, okay, which is somewhere like this. Okay, so the average fixed cost, okay, is very, very important. You should understand it completely. It's very, very easy. The things you should know about the average fixed cost is that as the output of a firm increases, okay, the average fixed cost, okay, continues to fall. It continues to fall. Please take note of that. All right, do not forget this. If you forget anything I've said today, do not forget this. As the output of a firm, okay, increases continuously, okay, the average fixed curve, okay, the average fixed cost, okay, rather begins to fall. But most importantly, it will never touch the output axis. No matter how it falls, it will not touch this. It will not get to a point to not touch this axis. Okay, so but it will never touch the output axis. Please take note of that. All right. So as the output of a firm increases, the average fixed cost continue to fall. Okay, but it will never, for once, okay, touch the output axis. Now, let us now talk about another term, which is called the supply curve of a firm. Supply curve, all right, of a firm. Okay. After supply curve of a firm, talk about do a small talk on long run cost analysis, and then we are done. All right. So stay put. All right, so download the O3 Schools app, okay, activate it, tell your friends about the app also, all right, tell your friends, tell all of them, all right, so let them come and join you in the mock challenge, all right. So now let us see supply curve of a firm. All right, so supply curve of a firm, okay. So now the supply curve basically shows the quantity of goods that a firm is willing and able to produce and sell at different prices. All right. The quantity of goods that a firm is willing, okay, and able to produce and sell at different prices. Okay. So basically, the supply curve tells us how much a firm can supply when prices go up or go down. All right. So, if, for example, if prices go up, okay, the firm will produce more. Isn't it common sense? All right. Because of what? Because he wants to make more profits. Okay. So, if the prices of a commodity go up, okay, the firm will produce more so that they can make more profit. Common sense. All right. Now, if the price goes down, just like common sense of law and demand, if the price go down, okay, they produce less. Okay, they produce less so that they will not fall into loss. Okay, so that's basically what the supply curve is. Now, it is important to know that the supply curve, okay, comes from what? From the marginal cost curve. From the marginal cost curve. All right. We know that in the short run, okay, the firm, okay, we have variable factors and fixed factors. The fixed factors are like your rent, okay. The variable factors, okay, are maybe wages, workers' wages. All right. So it's important to know that the supply curve, okay, comes from from the marginal cost curve. The firm supply cost curve, okay, is the upward sloping part, okay, of the average cost curve, okay. So now when we have our curve like this, all right, we now have our average cost curve, AVCs, okay. So the average variable cost curve, okay. So now the supply curve, we know that our marginal cost curve comes like this, isn't it? Now it intersects at this point, okay. It has intersect the minimum point of the average variable cost at this point. All right. So now, what happens? This is MC curve. Okay, this is our AVC curve. So the supply curve of a firm is this upward or sloping part. Okay, above the average variable cost curve. Okay, so this is our supply curve year to year. Year to year is our supply curve. All right, so that's our supply curve. So if here, let's say for example, we say here is B, here is C. Okay, that means what? Curve BC is is the supply curve of the firm. All right, so please take note of that. All right, let me just put the definition of supply curve on the board at least. We say that the supply curve shows the quantity of goods a firm is willing and able to produce and sell at different prices. Okay, so that is what we call the supply curve. Okay, the producer or the firm will want to produce more when the prices are higher, so that will make more profits. And also produce less when the price is lesser or lower or false. Okay, so that he does not fall into debt. Now let's see an example to further illustrate this. Okay, let's see an example to further illustrate this. Okay, so now like you saw from the graph. Okay, so anything below the average variable cost, it means that the firm cannot even be able to cover some variable costs. Isn't it? So you won't want to supply anything. Okay, but anything above the average variable cost, it means that the firm can be able to cover some variable costs and even some fixed costs. All right. So let me draw that diagram again. Okay, we saw like this. This is our average variable curve, and then cost curve. Then we now have our marginal cost curve. Okay, this is our B and C. Okay, so anything below this average variable cost curve, it means that the firm will not be able to cover some variable costs. That's what it definitely means. So the firm will not produce. Okay, but anything above this, it means that it can cover some average variable costs and also even cover some fixed costs. All right, so it will produce. So like I was saying, let us see an example to explain this better. All right, so now imagine a factory or a firm that produces markers, for example. All right, so let's say we have a price per marker here, price per marker, and then this part will have quantity supplied. Now, when the price of a marker was, let's say for example, 100 naira, okay, it was too low. Okay, so this cannot cover the average variable cost. Okay, so zero quantity was supplied. Okay, zero quantity was supplied because it cannot cover the average variable cost. Okay, it was below, all right, the average variable cost. Now, when the price goes to, for example, 115 naira, right? Let's say they can able to produce 20. All right. So now, because of this, you are seeing that this price is above the average variable cost, so they can supply 20. All right. So now, basically, a firm will produce more when the price is high. Okay, because the price is high, all right, they can produce. Now, if the price is higher, when the price goes to, for example, 200 naira, all right, let's say they produce 40. All right, so they are producing more because they can cover at this stage, they can cover some average variable cost and also cover some fixed cost. All right. Now, when the price goes to 250, let's say they produce 60. When it goes to 300, let's say they produce 80. So the more what the price goes up, okay, the more the supply, the quantity supply is increasing. That is what your supply curve is. Okay, so this is exactly what the supply curve is. So as the price goes up, all right, you see that the cost, the extra additional units, okay, of producing one, okay, you see that it begins to increase. All right, so they begin to increase their production. They begin to increase their quantity supplied. All right, so that's how we get the supply curve from the marginal cost curve. All right, now let us go to long run cost analysis. All right, so now we know that in the long run, all right, all factors of production can be varied. Okay, so there are no fixed costs in the long run. All right, in the long run, you can decide to hire more workers. You can decide to build a bigger factory. You can decide to fire workers or hire more workers, able to do whatever, buy new machineries and so on and so forth. All right, so all factors, okay, can be varied in the long run. All right, there are no fixed costs. So now, what is now long run cost analysis? All right, long run cost analysis. All right, so what is long run cost analysis? Long run cost analysis studies how a firm's total cost changes. That cost changes when it produces different levels of output after it has adjusted, after it has had time to adjust all inputs. Okay, for example, labor. Okay, for example, building. For example, machinery. All right. So this is what long run cost analysis. It studies how a firm's total cost changes. Okay, when a firm produces for different levels of output. Okay, we said in the long run, every factor of production, all factors of production are variable. Okay, so you can adjust then, like your labor, like your building, like your machinery. All right, you can decide to hire more workers or fire some. You can decide to increase your building. Okay, build a bigger structure to accommodate more workers. You can decide to buy new machinery. So it studies how a firm's total cost, okay, changes when it produces different levels of output after it has had time to adjust all of this input. Okay, so it helps the firm to find the most efficient production size. Okay, it helps the firm to find the most efficient production size. That is the size with the lowest lowest cost per unit output. Okay, so it helps the firm to find the most efficient production size. That is the one with the lowest cost per unit output. All right. So this is how first of all, it's important to know that the long run cost curve or long run cost average curve. Okay, we call it the LRAC. Okay, long run average cost curve. All right, it's U-shaped. Okay, it's U-shaped. Okay, we have what our X and Y axis. Okay, this is how what our long run cost curve it looks like. Okay, so now also cutting across it. Okay, let me take this higher up because of the LMC. Okay, so when we have it like this, all right, we have the lowest point, our long run marginal cost, long run, this LMC, long run marginal cost curve. Okay, now then here we now have what our LAC. Okay, so this is our LMC, long run marginal cost curve. This is our long run average cost curve. Okay, so now this is it. Now, as you can obviously observe, you can see what the long run marginal cost curve. Okay, cutting it at what, at its what minimum point, and we get this long run average cost curve from what? From many short run average cost curve. Okay, from many SRAC, short run average cost curve. So it is the point. Okay, the point they meet. Okay, that we use to what, to get what, this graph. So we plot many short run average cost curve, and then we plot we just what, take the points to plot what, the long run average cost curve. And as you can see from there, it shows the lowest possible cost. Okay, that can use to what, to produce what, each output what level. All right, and we draw it like we say by enveloping or touching what, the minimum point of what, of many short run what average what cost what curves. All right, so this is where I'm going to what end concerning what this. Remember, here is our cost axis, here's our output. Okay, so this is where I'm going to what, and in the next class we'll talk about revenue and then we're done. But before we go, we have to what, answer questions. So let us go to the app, answer the questions we have. I'm going to answer a few of them and then you finish the remaining ones. This is a 1999 question, number 21, that we saw at the beginning. It says that which of the following falls continuously as output expands, continue to fall as output rises. Okay, remember I told you very well that the average fixed cost, the AFC, okay, continues to work to fall, but it never touches the output level. It continues to fall, but it does not touch what, the output axis. It does not intersect the output axis. All right, so correct answer will be average fixed cost. A say average fixed cost, B say marginal cost, C say average variable cost, D say average cost. We also have 2007. Number 19 says that if the total fixed cost is the same regardless of output, if the total fixed cost is the same regardless of output, all right, the average fixed cost will be A say increasing, B say maximum, C say minimum, D say decreasing. Okay, so it's what, keep on what, decreasing. All right, so if the total fixed cost is the same regardless of the output, I mean the average what fixed cost will be what, will be decreasing. Okay, it begins to what, it continues to what, to fall. All right, so in the long run the average fixed cost will what, definitely what fall. It will what, it will decrease. Now let us see 2000 number 18. Okay, this is a calculation question, so let me take this side of the board. All right, so it says that in a small scale business the fixed cost is 5,000 naira. Okay, we're given that the total fixed cost is 5,000 naira. Right, then we're told that the variable cost is 15,000. Average, okay, total variable cost is 15,000. They said the output, this is our Q now. They say it's what, 500 units. All right, so they say find what will be the unit cost of the what, of the goods. Okay, that means they're asking us for the what, for the average what cost, for the average total cost. Okay, we are giving the TFC, we are giving the TVC. Okay, what do we need to what, to calculate our what, our average cost or our average total cost? To say our average total cost is what, TC over what, over Q. Now from here we can find our TC. We know that what the total cost is what, total fixed cost plus what, total variable cost. Okay, so 5,000. Our total fixed cost is 5,000. Our total variable cost is what, 15,000. Okay, this will give us what, 20,000. Now we are giving the Q output 500. So to get our average cost, all right, it will be what now? 20,000 divided by what? 500. 0 cancel 0, 0 cancel 0. Okay, 5 here, 5 into 20 is what? Is 4. Okay, is 4 times then plus 0. So I want to have what? 40. Option A is very correct, 40. All right, so how were we able to decipher this question? All right, we're given the fixed cost, we're given the variable cost, all right, and then we're given the output. But they say we find the unit cost. If you don't know that average cost is the unit cost, okay, cost of producing just 1 unit is what? Average total cost or average cost. If you do not know that, you first of all fail the question, all right? So you first of all need to decipher that before you can proceed. Let's see another question. I've seen 1999, 21. Let's say 2009, number 20. It says, as the level of output increases, the average fixed cost of a firm decreases, okay? Continues to decrease. We talked about all of this. That's why I say they ask question about average fixed cost very well. A say continue to decrease, B continue to increase, B say remain unchanged, C say continue to decrease, D say be equal to the total cost. Correct answer is option C. Then 1999 number 18 says, a characteristic of the average fixed cost is that A say rises and falls faster than the marginal cost. B say is U-shaped and intercept the price axis. Does not intercept at all. C say is always higher than the average variable cost. D say falls continuously but is never equal to 0. Correct answer is option D. It falls continuously but never touches the output axis. Okay, it never intersects the output axis, so it never equals 0. Okay, search for 2018 number 13 and tell me the answer. Search for 2019 number 22. Okay, all right, I'll see you in the next class where we'll talk about revenue. All right, see you there. Keep being you.